3 fatalities following yesterday's Amtrak derailment, but a 15-year-old Wisconsin Boy Scout aboard the train comforted one of the deceased in the final moments before he died. Eli Skrypczak had escaped from the train when he found the man lying in a ditch. He rushed to help the dying truck driver and called for more help. A state patrol officer and first responders arrived at the scene, and though they were not able to revive the man, Eli stayed by his side during his final moments. Eli was one of several scouts on the train that day. They all helped passengers and assisted in any way they could. Eli's father, Dan Skrypczak, joins me. Dan, nice to talk to you, and just how proud are you of your son?
I am extremely proud, Greta. Obviously, I'm very excited to get him home as soon as possible, and worried about him, his well-being, of course, but extremely proud.
All right, you got a text. You and I talked earlier today. You got a text that there had been a train derailment. How soon did you find out that, after that, did you find out your son was okay?
It was several hours before we talked to him, but it was within, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes when we knew he was okay, because a different reporter was actually a passenger on the train and took a bunch of pictures, and one of the pictures included Eli running down the tracks in his yellow Crocs with no shirt on. So we knew he was okay.
What did Eli say happened? How did he describe it?
He described it as an incredible jolt is when they hit the truck. Everything that they were holding flew out of their hands. Lots of folks flew forward into the seats in front of them. He described it watching some folks' shoes actually fly off their feet. The deacceleration was so strong that it was incredible, the G-force that they felt. Moments later, they could hear the creaking and the twisting, and the cars began to topple and derail to their side. So they were on the left side of the car, and there were folks on the right side, some of their fellow troopmates. Him and his seatmate ended up landing on some other scouts, falling about 8 feet from the aisle to the other side of the train.
Well, it's been about 30 hours. How come he isn't home? I realize the train's not going to get him home, but is there no other way to get him home faster?
Well, the good news is they are homeward bound right now. We do, in fact, have them on home, and we are beginning to gather and meet them when they debark. So we're very excited. We do continue to have our prayers for our 2 leaders who are, in fact, still in Missouri and are hospitalized and maybe for several more days.
Are any of those leaders seriously injured? Are they expected to recover?
They're both expected to recover. It just may take some time. The injuries involve fractured vertebrae and fractured ribs and bruised lungs and things like that.
Right. Did Eli, I can't even imagine a 15-year-old, well, he's a kid to me, a 15-year-old watching someone die and trying to help him. Did Eli say anything to you about that experience?
When I first talked to him, he did not. I spoke to him later, and after other adults had informed me about the situation that he participated in, and talked to him about it. We chatted, and he was he felt some sadness that he couldn't have done anything more. But as I told him, as the Missouri State Highway Patrol told him, and a farmer that was on the scene relatively shortly thereafter, all told him the same thing, which was he did what he could. We loved him and we're proud of him for trying. And all the kids, they sprung into action, did what they could, and in the end, that's all we can ask for them.
All right, now I want to do a little trivia, a little bragging. Dan and I went to the same high school, didn't we, Dan? Different years.
True, go Hawks.
Yeah, go Hawks. Appleton, Wisconsin, my hometown. I brag about it every chance I get, Dan. And I'm enormously proud of the scouts there, how much they helped, and it's really, it's particularly fun. It's a terrible story, but I do enjoy having the opportunity to brag on those Appleton Boy Scouts. So, Dan, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you for having us here.